Alright, so here are the tools you're going to need. Ammo can. The size is up to you. This one's fairly large. Larger than your standard one. This is about standard size. U-bolts. For this instance, I'm only going to use 4. I bought 6 just in case. These are 1/2 inch pipe U-bolts, and they could actually probably be a little smaller. As you can see, they are a little large for the rack, but they'll still work. Tubing. This is just clear vinyl tubing. This happens to slip over the U-bolts pretty easy. This is just going to be used as a buffer between the U-bolt and the rack itself, so I don't scratch up the rack badly. Rust-Oleum truck bed coating. This is what I'm going to use to coat the ammo box with for looks and durability. When you open and close this, it's going to scratch the sides a lot. If you rub up against it, it'll scratch fairly easily. Hopefully this will prevent a lot of scratches. And finally, this grip liner. I'm going to test this out. Use it on the bottom of the ammo can to prevent scratching on the rack. Hopefully it works out alright. I guess we'll see. I didn't really know what else to use, so yeah. As you can see here, I have my U-bolt and I have my tubing. At the hardware store, to find out which tubing I needed, I just took the U-bolt over to the plumbing section and fitted in. This one went on very easy, so I might have been able to get a tighter one, but I didn't want to spend all day fitting tubing on these U-bolts. See the length you might need. Measure it up to where it starts and ends on the threading, and cut in that general area. Once you have that first piece of tubing measured, you can just size it up with the rest of the hose and cut off to approximately where you might need it. So you get 4 pieces. If it's too long, you can just take it right back off and cut it some more. But just slide it into place. If you're having trouble slipping the tubing over the U-bolt, you can just put one of the nuts on and crank it down, and you can see it's pushing it on without much effort. Ta-da! Alright, so we got to make our drill holes for the ammo box. You could take the time to measure it out and get it centered perfectly, but I'm just going to show you a quick way to eyeball it. And that's, as you can see here, I put double-sided tape on each of the bolt ends. I tried using markers and paint, but it didn't really work too well. So what you want to do is eyeball where you want it to sit. Do your best to make sure it's even on every end, and gently place it and apply some pressure. Lift up. I have exactly where I need to drill. Alright, so to make drilling easier and more precise, you can use a metal punch and a hammer or a mallet to mark where you're going to be drilling. If you look under there, you can see I have a nice little spot of where I need to start the drill. Now you can start to drill. Make sure to start out with a smaller drill bit, and you can work up to the proper size. Alright, we got all our holes drilled, and now we got to test fit it, make sure they're all in the right place. Well, as you can see, all of the U-bolts fit in the holes, so they should fit on the luggage rack just fine. Now, we need to paint this thing. So I am by no means a good painter. I'm even using just a rattle can of the truck spray bed liner. You may want to go find another YouTube video on how to paint, but basically the steps I'm going to be taking are sanding and painting. So I'll show you what this looks like after I finish sanding it, and it's going to be hard to get, you know, in the little crevices and cracks. So this thing's already a rust bucket. I'm not going to spend a lot of time prepping it, but you'll see what it looks like. While sanding, this handle kept rattling, and it got me thinking, you know, I don't even want it on there to begin with. Don't want to listen to that while riding down the road, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it off. Here it is. That's as sanded as it's gonna get. Left a lot undone there, but this area is gonna get pretty scratched up regardless, just because it's got so many moving parts. Alright, well, now it's time to cut out this vinyl for the bottom of the ammo can. I just measured the bottom of the ammo can, and it came out to 1 foot 7 inches. Right now, the paint is drying on the ammo can, or at least the first coat. I'm going to put a couple of coats on it. And this, no one's really going to see it, so if it's not beautiful, don't feel too bad. Okay, so we have the box painted, but still drying. We have our cutout vinyl. And I just put some JB weld on it. You probably don't need something this strong to get it to stick to the back of here. Honestly, you don't even really have to stick it to the back of here if you don't want to, but this is going to make the whole thing stick to the back without any pieces hanging off, completely covering it, and also it'll have it stick so I won't have to hold it in place while I put the U-bolts where they need to go. So you may want to consider doing this. Alright, so it's thoroughly spread out throughout the vinyl. Now the only step is to just place it on the ammo box. Someone's popping off fireworks out there. Freaking my dog out. And that should stick in place and prevent the ammo box from rubbing or scratching the luggage rack. There's plenty of this vinyl sheeting left over, so if you wanted to do multiple layers, go right ahead. But I think I'm just going to stick with this one. Hi, Alice. Now that the vinyl is on the bottom, you need to cut out holes for the bolts to slip through on the vinyl. There's several ways you can do this, but as for me, I'm just going to go through and feel where the dimples are. You can literally rub your finger across and feel where the dips are. Like here's one. And you can just stick your screwdriver or something similar straight through. And once you're through, you can cut it out further with a utility knife or I don't know, anything really. But yeah, it's that easy. Okay, so once all your holes are drilled, the can is painted to your liking, you can start mounting it. So you're basically going to have to hold it in place and jam the U-bolts up into their position, like so. It's really easy once you get one in place. And that vinyl on the bottom of the can really helps keep the U-bolt in place so you don't have to get the bracket and nuts on while holding everything together. And there you have it. Completely functional ammo box slash trunk slash top case, whatever you want to call it, even slash backrest, lumbar support pad. I bought this one for 12 bucks. It's got bungee straps on the back. That's not going to go anywhere. Probably not going to do anything about those bolts sticking up, but if you feel like taking the time to shave them down or cover them up with a piece of wood, I say go right ahead. Thanks for watching. If you like this, consider giving it a like or subscribing to the channel for more videos.